Hey everybody, welcome back to Beautiful You. Wanted to talk to you today about letting things go when you have rectified a situation with somebody or possibly even apologized. If you have done something that has hurt someone else, whether intentionally or unintentionally, and you work to rectify the situation, let's say that let's first say it's a situation where you don't, an apology is not necessary, and therefore, hopefully, you are working on not apologizing when it's not necessary. Because, as we talked about on an earlier video entitled Stop Saying I'm Sorry, when if you haven't done anything with intent to hurt somebody else, then when you say I'm sorry, your mind hears I'm a sorry loser. I'm a sorry person. I am unworthy and I don't deserve things in life that other people do because I am not worth it. That's what your mind hears, and it destroys your self confidence tiny little bit by tiny little bit. It destroys your self esteem, and constantly saying, especially constantly saying, I'm sorry. If you're someone that maybe you apologize a couple times a week, that's probably not as big of a deal. But most people who apologize for things that don't warrant an apology are people who apologize multiple times a day or even an hour over simple little things like we talked about in the other video. But if something happens and you rectify the situation, for example, maybe someone is having a wedding and you cannot go to the wedding, and you say, I'm so sorry, I wish I could go. Or maybe you just say, man, I really wish I could go. I hate it that I can't go. I feel terrible that I can't go. And the person says, listen, I understand why you can't go, and it's okay. Then you need to say to yourself, I'm not going to spend any more time thinking about how bad I feel about this. I refuse to allow guilt to take over my mind regarding this situation, or really any situation. Guilt is a choice that we make to feel. In my belief system, I feel that guilt is something that comes from the enemy. You could also say that it comes from an inner critic. And I first heard that on Andrea Owens in one of her books that I read. 52 Ways to Lead a Kick-Ass Life is the name of the book. And so I want to credit Andrea Owens with teaching me about what an inner critic is. And an inner critic tells you all kinds of terrible things like you can't do that, don't even try. And you need to feel guilt for that. So different ways you can look at that, and you don't have to do it from a spiritual basis, but I do choose to see the enemy as the one who wants me to feel guilt. And when we feel guilt, oftentimes we make bad decisions about other things in our lives. We turn to destructive, addictive behaviors to get away from the guilt. Or at best case scenario, you feel the guilt. You don't turn to destructive behaviors, but still it weighs on your mind. It chips away at your peace and happiness, and it's unnecessary. And you are the only person feeling so bad about it most of the time. Usually, the person or the reason why you're feeling the guilt has let it go. You are the only one holding on to it. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, is letting go of those feelings, because you're basking in a terrible, negative, toxic emotion that is bringing you and your life down. Don't do that to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Let it go. When someone says, it's okay, I understand, I forgive you, even if you've done something that warrants requesting or asking for forgiveness, if the person has forgiven you, it is your responsibility to yourself to let it go. When you carry around these guilts, they become great weights on your heart, on your back, and it just can really cause you to make bad decisions about things, because if you're feeling guilty, you're just, you can do a lot about it. You can end up becoming involved again in people-pleasing behavior to try and relieve yourself or alleviate yourself of the guilt. Because you might be doing something for somebody that you don't really want to do, but you're doing it to try and, quote, make up for whatever you've done. But when people say it's okay, you need to give yourself a break. Also, if something happens and you feel bad about it and you tell this other person, hey, I didn't mean for it to happen that way. Can you please forgive me? This is why, blah, blah, blah. And they say, oh, okay, I understand. It's okay. When they are telling you it's okay, they're basically giving you, so to speak, a gift. They're giving you a gift of a blessing. They're giving you a gift of alleviating yourself of responsibility. They are giving you a gift of relieving your burden. But if you refuse to accept the gift, I don't think that's very nice of you. I think that you need to look at it as if this person gave me a gift and I'm not even accepting it. I'm not even, grateful for the gift. I am throwing the gift away and choosing to continue to feel miserable, even though this person has told me it's okay. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to live in your guilt. You don't have to wallow in this guilt. I'm not holding it against you. Maybe either anymore or I never did at all. And when you continue to hold on to that guilt, it's almost as if you are holding on to a toxic negative feeling that weighs you down so that you can continue to speak badly about yourself if you're someone that does that. Most of the people that I'm talking to, if not now, at least at some point in the past, have talked down to themselves. Are you someone who beats yourself up with regularity verbally? I know that I was. I would tell myself all the time, you're not worth it. You're not good enough for that. You don't deserve that. I would tell myself these things all the time. And typically the type of people that would listen to this video, type of people like me, are the same people who would not have good things to say about themselves. So I want you to really think about that. Please let go of the feelings of guilt, especially if you've spoken to the person about it and they tell you to let it go. They're trying to give you a gift. Receive the gift with gratitude, with love, and with thanks. And do not throw the gift away by continuing to allow guilt to filter into your feelings. It is your choice to feel guilt. And granted, it won't be easy at first to let it go. But every time you notice the guilt, every time you start to feel bad, you say to yourself, no, they've forgiven me and everything is fine. And move on. You have to do this. The person to whom you're speaking, I'm sure they love you. You wouldn't be speaking to them in this way. And you're allowing them to feel sad over how you're treating yourself if you don't let it go. So thank you so much for listening. I know this was a long video compared to a lot of them that I send, but just if it's too long, let me know in the comments. A lot of people say that they like the length of the videos or they like hearing what I'm saying and it applies to them. So I wanted to delve into the subject a little bit more deeply today. So thank you so much for listening. Don't ever forget, you are beautiful, you. And please share, like and subscribe if you like the videos. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.